In the headlines of this hour on VTV News, Prime Minister chairs government's January meeting on law building. And Resolution 01 facilitates business development. And in our world news, ASEAN Foreign Ministers Retreat opens in Laos.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is 3 p.m. local time, and you're watching VTV News. I'm Huyen Chen with the top stories. Now, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh chaired the government's meeting on law building on Monday morning in January. Government members reviewed and provided comments on 5 different topics. These include 3 law projects: the project to amend and supplement the law on security guard force, the law on human trafficking prevention and control amended, and the law on notarization amended. The other 2 projects focus on law development, specifically the law on corporate income tax amended and the law on enforcement of civil judgments amended. At the end of the meeting, the Prime Minister commended the relevant ministries for their active preparation and a submission of draft laws. This demonstrates the government's commitment to implementing 3 strategic breakthroughs, including a breakthrough in institution building. Moving forward, the Prime Minister requested the heads of ministries, branches and localities to continue prioritizing institution building, ensuring the quality of human resources and facilities, and minimizing unnecessary administrative procedures. The Prime Minister also urged all relevant agencies to enhance coordination and actively gather feedback from citizens and specialists to ensure the practicality of institution building. National Assembly Chairman Vương Đình Huệ met with former National Assembly leaders, former members of the National Assembly Standing Committee, retired full-time National Assembly deputies at the central level, and officials and employees of the National Assembly. The deputies have highly appreciated the spirit of innovation in all activities of the 15th National Assembly since the beginning of its term. The current National Assembly has been exploring new and creative ways of operating while strengthening democracy, professionalism, and the power of laws. During the meeting, the National Assembly Chairman extended his wishes to former National Assembly leaders, former members of the National Assembly Standing Committee, and retired officials and employees. He emphasized that 2024 is an important year for implementing the resolution of the 13th Party Congress and the 5-year socio-economic development plan. As the 14th Party Congress approaches, the workload and demand for the National Assembly are significant, making the extensive knowledge and experience of the former leaders, officials, and employees crucial for the National Assembly's activities this year. In the first month of this year, over 13,500 new businesses were established, marking a 25% increase compared to the same period last year. This represents the highest number of businesses entering the market in the first month of the year to date. Additionally, the average registered amount of capital per enterprise continues to show signs of recovery, reaching $455,000, which is nearly a 23% increase compared to the same period last year. This positive trend in the economy strengthens the government's determination to achieve this year's GDP growth target of approximately 6 to 6.5%. Now, as mentioned, the number of new businesses established in January also marks the highest number of businesses entering the market in the period of 2018 to 2024 during the first month of the year. This positive trend indicates the presence of numerous new businesses opportunities, which can be attributed to the support of various policies, including Resolution 01 of the government, which outlines 12 tasks and solutions for socio-economic development.
To address credit difficulties, the state bank has allocated the entire credit limit to commercial banks at the start of the year instead of dividing it into 2 to 3 installments as previously done. With a target of approximately 15% credit growth by 2024, it is estimated that over $81.2 billion will be injected into the economy this year.
Our partners have access to credit sources, which provide them with resources to purchase goods. We can increase orders through real estate projects or public investments to develop our production.
Resolution 01 also includes a policy to reduce the value-added tax by 2%. The total value of tax reduction, which amounts to around $1 billion in the first half of 2024, is crucial for promoting production, business, and consumption among the people.
Resolution 01 focuses on promoting the macroeconomy and stabilizing growth. Our businesses will receive several advantages, including the continuation of tax and fee reductions. This will help consumers save money and promote consumption.
According to a survey conducted by the Private Economic Development Research Board, the business community highly appreciates Resolution 01 for its comprehensive nature. This resolution offers solutions to lower lending interest rates, reduce taxes and fees, and promote long-term investment.
Resolution 01 has been edited in detail with relatively clear decentralization and responsibilities.
Resolution 01 has motivated participation from various industries since the start of 2024. This has resulted in the creation of numerous new jobs.
2024 is a breakthrough year, especially significant for the successful implementation of the 5-year plan 2021 to 2025. Despite global fluctuations, domestic policies will persist in supporting businesses, fostering growth, and ensuring macroeconomic stability and major balances.
Recently, the EU announced that 5 Vietnamese agricultural and food products, namely chili, instant noodles, durian, okra, and dragon fruit, are now subject to inspection when exported to the EU market. This regulation is reviewed and updated by the EU every 6 months based on the import control results from the second half of the previous year. This highlights the need for Vietnam to strengthen control over its agricultural products in order to meet import market standards.
This is the first time that Vietnamese durian is being monitored at EU border gates, with a frequency of 10%. This decision is a result of 3 shipments of Vietnamese durian in the last 6 months of the previous year being warned for containing excessive pesticides.
The value of the shipment is small and does not cause significant damage to the business. However, I see opportunities in the European market being lost.
Monitoring regulations of this kind are considered common in agricultural trade and do not significantly impact exports. However, they can present certain challenges for businesses.
Increasing control will increase export customs clearance time, along with significantly increased costs. Not only that, it can also affect the image of Vietnamese durian in the international market.
Compared to the announcement made 6 months ago, there are still 4 items, including chili, instant noodles, okra, and dragon fruit, that maintain the same inspection frequency. This serves as a warning to farmers and businesses to improve and ensure compliance with strict agricultural product safety standards.
During the process of production and cultivation, it is necessary to firmly grasp the ingredients on the EU banned list. With the permitted ingredients, farmers must ensure that there are no pesticide residues left during the quarantine period until harvest.
Entering the market is challenging, but maintaining a position in the market is even more difficult. Without strict control over agricultural product safety standards, the risk of facing heightened inspection levels is significantly increased.
Out of the more than 4,600 warnings issued by the European Union last year regarding the safety of imported agricultural products, 67 were for Vietnam. This accounted for 1.4% of the total and was 5 fewer warnings compared to the same period in 2022. In the meantime, Vietnam successfully removed several herbs, including coriander, basil, mint, and parsley from the control list. The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development plans to propose a reduction in control frequency for certain products to the EU based on the results of domestic residue control. This proposal aims to alleviate difficulties and facilitate Vietnamese agricultural products' entry into this vast market. Now let's take a look at the foreign exchange rate of today at January 29th. Coming up next, Hanoi Zoo ensures animals stay warm and healthy during cold spell. And vibrant Tet celebrations inside Vietnamese markets in the U.S. Over the past 2 days, images of animals at Hanoi Zoo appearing starved, cold, and skinny have been circulating on social networks. The question arises, are the animals truly starving or suffering from the cold as reported on social networking forums? Let's delve into the following story to find out.
Titled "A Plea from Hanoi Zoo," this article has garnered over 6,000 comments and shares. The photos evoke sadness, depicting skinny and shabby monkeys huddled together in the cold. Many sympathetic comments were received in response. However, it should be noted that these images were taken 2 years ago when the monkeys were ill, experiencing hair loss, and receiving special care from the zoo. Here is a recent image showing 2 monkeys who have been cared for by doctors in a separate area. They have gained weight and are now healthy.
The monkeys here, after being sick, have recovered healthily. Their body shape and fur color have returned to normal.
This is the residence of the hippo, where food is added to protect against the cold. The water in the lagoon tank is always kept hot.
5 hot water tanks run at full capacity, ensuring warm water and a favorable environment for hippos.
Since the beginning of November, Hanoi Zoo has implemented a plan to combat the cold weather. When the temperature drops below 17 degrees, they activate oil heating and provide additional food. When the temperature drops below 15 degrees, they also add firewood for warmth. Ungulates, being less tolerant of the cold, have access to wood stoves to keep the entire herd warm.
Coming here, I saw that the animals were fully warmed up. The animals' food and drinks are also carefully prepared by the staff, unlike the information shared online.
Posting false information online is very irresponsible because, when providing information, it must be verified. Otherwise, it will cause great damage to our management work as well as our psychology.
Hanoi Zoo currently cares for approximately 700 animals, including 32 rare species. When the temperature drops, like it did last week, extra attention is given to the animals' diet and keeping them warm. It is important to note that there is no truth to the false information spread by some people about animals dying from the cold.
The trade union of the Ho Chi Minh City's industrial and export processing zones has been organizing the annual Day of Gratitude Tet reunion activities for over 10,000 workers and laborers in the city. During the festival, workers will receive vouchers to shop for essential Tet goods at nearly 30 stalls. These vouchers offer prices with a discount ranging from 5% to 30% compared to market prices. Now, over the past 2 days, the festival organizing committee has distributed shopping vouchers to more than 10,000 workers and laborers. Additionally, the spring train program will transport nearly 2,000 workers to their homes for Tet. Over the weekend, the final market of the Year of the Cat took place in Khánh Sơn District, Khánh Hòa Province. The Tô Hạp Town Market is held once a month on the last Saturday of each month. The majority of stalls at the market are operated by local ethnic groups. The main products on offer are local specialties, forest products collected by local residents, and handicrafts made from bamboo. In addition to the market, the local authorities also organize various activities, such as environmental protection initiatives, volunteer work, cultural and artistic performances, and traditional folk games. With the approaching Lunar New Year's festival, Vietnamese markets in the U.S. are offering many traditional products for sale. Join us in the following interview to get a glimpse into how the Vietnamese community prepares for Tet in a place that is half a world away from home.
Phuoc Loc Thọ shopping mall is currently bustling with activity as small businesses prepare for the Tet season by displaying goods and attracting merchants. The store has recently ordered a large quantity of clothes from Vietnam. These goods are not only sold to Vietnamese people in Orange County, California, but also exported to many other states.
I have to prepare the goods half a year in advance. 2024 is the year of the dragon, so I've imported Vietnamese traditional costumes with dragon embellishment. They are diverse in terms of colors. The traditional clothes displayed in my stores must be faithful to the origin design, representing the hallmarks of the Vietnamese traditional sense of fashion.
For Vietnamese people, preserving Tet is one of the oldest traditions, and it's never too early to start learning how to celebrate Tet.
This is the first time my daughter is wearing an Asan, so it's a bit difficult to choose. Because my family wants to preserve Vietnamese traditions, so I want my daughter to enjoy the Tet holiday as they do in Vietnam.
Most Vietnamese supermarkets in Orange County are filled with goods for the festive seasons. This year, Tet goods arrived early and at reasonable prices.
Our supermarket started selling Tet goods 2 weeks ago. We have an abundant supply of Vietnamese cakes, jams, and sweets. For Tet and Chinh cakes, we are now only serving samples. Next week, the supermarket will supply more tin cake to cater to the customers' needs.
I'm so happy to be able to buy imported Vietnamese goods. In California, I can find all the things for Tet preparation, such as peach blossoms, apricot blossoms, jams, and many more. However, I can't help but miss Vietnam so much.
The spring market is located right in front of Phuoc Loc Thọ shopping mall. It remains open from morning until night for 3 weeks before Tet. Despite being far from home, the Vietnamese community here can experience the cozy Tet atmosphere.
Cultural spaces filled with traditional Tet activities were opened in Hanoi's Old Quarter on Sunday morning. These activities are part of the annual program Vietnamese Tet Old Quarter Tet 2024, which aims to preserve and promote the traditional cultural values of the country. The event also aims to promote the tourism image of Hanoi's Old Quarter and the capital city as a whole. More in the following.
This offering ceremony ritual is reenacted in the Old Quarter streets of Hanoi, the capital. The purpose of the ritual is to report the year-round results of the residents in craft villages to the tutelary god of the communal house. The procession passes through several ancient relics, attracting the attention of both locals and tourists along the route.
This is a very joyful atmosphere. It brings the traditional Tet of our Vietnamese people to life.
This is beautiful, the dress is beautiful, everything is okay. I like the music, the Asian music, very interesting.
At Kim Ngân Communal House, a procession is held to perform traditional rituals in honor of the village tutelary god and to worship the craft ancestors. The communal house is adorned with traditional Tet colors, featuring folk paintings and calligraphy. Artisans also showcase a variety of local heritages from different regions of the area.
This year, young people are taking charge of the procession. They have also chosen the traditional costumes of the country. The ritual left the public with the impression that traditions are being carried on by young people.
The event allows us to preserve the value of Hanoi's cultural heritage, while also providing opportunities to learn about Tet traditions in different regions. It is necessary for everyone to join hands in preserving this precious tradition.
The program also includes setting up the bamboo pole, a traditional Vietnamese custom during Tet to symbolize a wish for good things in the new year and to ward off misfortunes. This tradition brings festive atmosphere of Tet right to people's doorstep.
The animated film The Boy Holding the Reed Flag has won the Golden Lotus Prize and has attracted up to 14 million views on the official YouTube channel of Vietnam Animation Studio to date. This serves as evidence that historical and cultural cartoons always attract viewers, especially the younger generation, when presented in a captivating form.
When watching this movie, I feel proud of the Vietnamese people from the past to the present. Vietnamese people never succumb to their enemies. This animated movie gives me chills and excitement as if I were watching a live-action movie. The film reminds future generations of this great historical value. When watching historical animated films on the official YouTube channel of Vietnam Animation Studio, many viewers express feelings of surprise and pride.
Finding documents about historical costumes is a big challenge. We must find a way to properly adapt historical stories into animations while respecting the historical context and details.
The Gong of Nua Mountain is one of 3 works in a series of historical animated films recently introduced by Vietnam Animation Studio in early 2024. The animations Dinh Tiên Hoàng and The Hero of That Mountain have also received positive feedback.
More creativity is needed to align the historical animations with the new awareness and aesthetics of young people today.
We've combined humorous elements into animations, making the film more entertaining and interactive in the eyes of the audience.
Currently, historical topics serve as a source of inspiration for many content creators. However, the challenge for historical animators lies in making it a habit for the public to enjoy such content through mainstream media.
History animators like us really want to have official distribution channels for historical animated films. Some countries handle this very well. For example, Japan uses animations to promote its cultural features.
Investing sufficiently in production and promotional activities can make historical animated films an effective tool for enhancing Vietnamese cultural hallmarks and values.
Coming up next in our world news. ASEAN Foreign Ministers Retreat opens in Laos. And 3 U.S. troops killed in a drone attack in Jordan. Now moving on to our world news. The ASEAN Foreign Ministers Retreat commenced in Luang Prabang City, Laos on Monday. During the conference, the ministers discussed the priorities of the ASEAN group for the year with the theme ASEAN Enhancing Connectivity and Resilience. They also exchanged views on important matters related to ASEAN's community building, such as the follow-up to the 43rd ASEAN Summit and the ASEAN's external relations. The ASEAN foreign ministers engaged in substantive discussions about the international and regional situation, with the aim of fostering solidarity, friendship, and a common understanding to shape future strategic steps. The goal is to position ASEAN as the focal point for peace, cooperation, and sustainable development in the region. A U.S. base in northeastern Jordan was attacked by drones last night, resulting in the deaths of 3 soldiers and injuries to dozens of others. During a press conference, U.S. President Joe Biden stated that the U.S. will continue to uphold its commitment to the fight against terrorism and will hold those responsible accountable. According to the Pentagon, there have been over 150 attacks targeting U.S. and allied forces in Syria and Iraq since mid-October 2023. However, this is the first instance of U.S. troops being killed by enemy fire in the Middle East since the start of the Israel-Hamas conflict in the Gaza Strip. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un conducted a test of new submarine-launched cruise missiles and oversaw Pyongyang's nuclear submarine construction project on Sunday. Kim Jong-un stated that the successful missile test holds strategic significance in the implementation of the Army's modernization plan, which aims to build a strong naval force. The KCNA news agency of North Korea has released photos of leader Kim Jong-un supervising the Hwasa 331 missile tests. The missiles were launched from the sea off the country's east coast and successfully hit a predetermined target on the island. North Korea emphasized that the missile tests from the submarine had no impact on the security of neighboring countries and was unrelated to the regional situation. The United States is pursuing its ambition to become a global leader in the shift from gasoline-powered cars to electric cars. Several states have announced that starting in 2035, new vehicle registration will only be permitted for zero-emission cars. In order to achieve this objective, one of the challenges that needs to be addressed is the installation of charging stations.
In Washington, D.C., as well as the neighboring states of Maryland and Virginia, only approximately half of households own private homes. The remaining households reside in apartments and high-rise buildings. While many families desire to switch to electric cars, they face obstacles due to the scarcity of charging stations.
Well, I was just trying to find out in terms of feasibility how they propose implementation and actual installment of these EV chargers, because as the gentleman mentioned, there's competing land uses in terms of the curbs itself.
The U.S. government has approved a plan to invest an additional $623 million in the construction of charging station systems in residential areas and $325 million in the repair and upgrade of existing charging station systems. It is estimated that 2/3 of U.S. households will benefit from this program.
I think one of the biggest things is how do we get more chargers on the ground, and people need more funding to be able to deploy more EV chargers for the public. That's the big challenge for us, and we haven't quite figured that out because the federal government has around $5 billion, but that's not a lot of money when you got 50 states and over 300 million people.
The construction of charging stations continues to face numerous obstacles. The government aims to address these challenges over the next 11 years.
Now, before we say goodbye, let's take a look at the weather forecast. And that is it for our afternoon news bulletin. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.